I rap now. See, that's the thing. I never actually gave myself the name, right? And it was something that my boys gave me. Or just something like, you know, I'm one of those dudes that always finds myself in the right places, right? And they would always call me when I first moved down here. I mean, we'll probably get into all that, but when I first moved to Toronto, they would always call me, you know, what you say, what you say. And I would be chilling with like different people, you know. Whether it be, you know, in Atlanta in a hotel room with Jeezy and a whole bunch of girls, or like in a tour bus with Wu Kid, they just be like, oh, you're famous now. And then that was kind of something that stuck. They were like, yeah, famous, yeah, I like that. And you know, I've always been that dude to stand out in the crowd, so. And it also gives me something to live up to, you feel me? So if you check the background, like, I'm not doing a bad job. Repping Toronto is definitely what made famous. The name famous originates from Toronto, you know? And I think that's what really brought out the realization of like this whole rapping thing, like the whole entertainment business was Toronto. And, you know, surrounding myself with a lot of artists, you know, hip-hop artists, singing artists, wherever it may be, in Toronto, really developed the character of famous. So, I mean, repping Toronto, you know, Toronto made me, so why not get back to the city, you know? I think the business is actually the most important part, right? I mean, I could name you at least like 1,000 great artists who are like quality artists, but the reason they'll probably never blow is because of their business, right? A lot of the music, like we know a lot of the music we listen to is trash, right? But it's the business that jams it into your head that it's hype. You know, you put out a trash track, or you hear that trash track like 20 times, you know, in one day, and then you see the video another 5 times, and then you see a whole bunch of articles about it, you start to think, hey, maybe I'm not catching something. When in reality, you're not catching it because it's not good, but the business is on point. So, you know, I grasped that whole business thing, the whole marketing thing. Like, I was doing a lot of marketing for a lot of artists, and, you know, I was doing web programming, so, like, I knew a lot about the web and stuff. And that was just incorporating all that into the actual artist, you know, the skill, the talent, right? So it's like one meets the other, but the way the industry is now, we all know it has like almost nothing to do. Like the talent's the network, and then that's exactly what I did. I stood back for a hot minute, and I just really watched what was going on. Creation of I Rap now. You see the way that it goes, me, I'm one of those dudes that I get inspired by the beat. It's the beat that makes the track, right? I Rap now, it was sort of like the introduction. What a lot of artists don't do now, they don't give the story of their life. And if they do some, they taint it with certain things that aren't real, right? And I Rap now is basically, you know, the kid and his development into famous. So it's kind of like a story to me, right? And each track that I do is a story. The first one was Big Man Things. And like that video is like real to life. If you check out the video on thekidfamous.com, irapnow.com, the video, like, it shows me at the starting of the year working at Champs and then quitting and opening for Nas in a matter of 5 months. And all the work that went through, you know, the street promo for Fourth Biggest, the DJ Wu Kid 50 Minutes of Fame, the drama part 2, the cypher sounds, the interviews, the working out, you know, physically getting fit for this, and that was like the story from that point to that point. And then I'm here, you know, you gotta think about it. Toronto, you're doing a track about Toronto. What do you think? Like, to the average person who doesn't know about Toronto, they just think Caravana. Boom, that's the video concept. Who don't know any artist, they think Cardinal. Boom, it's on the track. And then of course my man Tona, he just complements the entire like visual of it. And then you move on to tracks like Kid Trying to Make It. You know, where I got my man Mayhem Moriarty, and I got Blake Carrington, and that was like, you know, I heard the beat. It was one of those beats where it was like a filmy beat. You know, Kid Trying to Make It. At the end of the day, we're just a kid trying to make it. So I got my man Mayhem, because we all come from different areas. So it's like I really wanted them to express where they come from in their grind to try to make it. And then there's Ain't No Use, which is like just one of those tracks that tells you like there's no use like worrying about the small things in life, you know, there's a big goal. So it's about accomplishing that big goal. And then the last one, I'm the shh, right? Now it's just like, you know, swag on max. One of those things where it's like, okay, if you don't get the story right now, take this in. You know, this is what I've accomplished up to this point. You know, you can't knock it. You gotta love it. You know, it's real, it's true, it is what it is. Like, how many rappers, you know, like show a video of them at Champs, quitting Champs, and then opening for Nas? You know, you don't see that as like a person who watches these artists. You only see the chains and the girls and like the end result. You don't know how they got there. And I think that's the whole visual on The Kid Famous. It's like The Kid is where it starts off and Famous is the ending result, right? And people want to know what's in between, so that's what the I Rap Now EP is. See, I think the Toronto scene is really it's embraced me in a sense. I think the scene, we have a lot of artists that do it for the love of the music, right? In most senses, a lot of people do it for other reasons. We've done it to this point, and you know, as far as a lucrative career in this industry, I mean, I can't really, as far as myself goes, you know, I've made it a lucrative career, but a lot of people still do it to this day for so many years because they love the music, you know, the whole hip hop, like they love the community, the way of life that it is. That's why a lot of people do it, right? And I think that's what really represents Toronto. We do it because we have the love for it, right? So the whole city, I mean, there's a lot of talented artists out here, and like I said, it's just about combining everything, you know. Nowadays it's just not about being a talented artist. You have to have this on point, your network's got to be on point, your marketing has to be on point, your promotion, right? So it's you know, if anything, you know, I'm just trying to inspire people. Like, you know, the last thing you want to do is like hate on the kid thing. Like, sit back, watch, and like learn. You know, that's the same thing I did. I sat back and I watched a lot of artists where they fell off, you know, where they've excelled, how long it's taken them to get where they are, and I really just like created my own brand. My part is putting people on, you know. Trinity's doing that video with them, you know, letting the hip hop see, you know, the multiculturalism of Toronto with the reggae. You know, I'm here at Cardi, the Caravan, and putting my man Tony. You know, we got the video on Rap City. It's on Vibe. It's on BTJ. You know, it's on the web. So it's like, I'm just trying to put dudes on. You know, that at the end of it, like, I've been blessed with a whole bunch of networks, a whole bunch of connects, and it's like any part that I could help somebody out with, I'll do that. Now, what they do with it is totally on them, and that's how I tell a lot of people, like, nobody put me where I am. You know, a lot of people guided me. I've watched a lot of people, but nobody like put me where I am. I put me where I am. See, the thing is, a lot of people they get into this cool factor, right? They fall into this cool factor and they feel that they're too cool to do certain things. Like, for instance, like Seneca College. You know, I was going out there. Like, my first 3 performances were at the Hive, right? And like to a regular artist, they'd be like, no, I can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's practice. You know, it's practice on the mic, and all that practice led up to opening for Nas, you know, and that's was preparation. It was like preparation meets the opportunity, and I was definitely prepared because of stuff like that, you know. And I've gone out, I talked to a lot of people, and that's really what's brought Famous to the level where he's at. Man, I'm one of those dudes, like, I don't like putting everything in one basket, you know. And it's also like, I hate doing one thing. I'm not that dude that could just do one thing, you know. Obviously there's like promotion, like I'm gonna be getting to this whole thing, right? Like, I just wanna like put people on. I wanna, like, at the end of the day, I want people to be like, yo, Famous? Yeah, he's that dude. Set realistic goals, and if you don't accomplish the first one, go harder. And if you don't accomplish, there's probably a reason why it's not getting accomplished. Go another route. Try something else, you know? Everybody's good at something. You know, that's why I tell everybody, if you're a cook, yo, and you're the greatest cook in the world, you're gonna love it. Every day you wake up, you're gonna love being a cook, and people will respect that. But like, don't be good at cooking and then think you're gonna rap. It's not for you. Rapping is not made for everybody. Like me, myself, going into it, like, you gotta think about the odds. I'm like facing 1 in however many million rap. So like, I try to set the realistic goals. Wow. Oh, you talking about Canadian?
Celebrity face link up, tone a shotgun in the truck driving.